Yeah. Ain't make crap. Part 2.
Hey, Kudo, turn it up.
Like a move. Yeah. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, on a sliding board going down. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground. You just wanna swing around. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, a place you shouldn't hang around. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, and you scream my name, say it loud. When you on the swing set, on the sliding boards, while you on the monkey bars, you lying horse. Life just like a merry-go-round, and I'm sure then got dizzy from all the girls I adore. I keep thinking about stupid ass shit when I am bored. What's the truth? Can you tell me what you lying for? Tryna do everything by the books and by the board. That ain't reasons for you to blame the pilot for. Don't throw all of your bullshit on me, you projectors. Don't throw all of your bullshit on me, you projectors. I'm not something you could project on. You just a devil in a disguise, and I was dead on. No end of a pencil, look imbecile, you just was led on. Following past the hill, and that's something you can bet on. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, on a sliding board going down. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, you just wanna swing around. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, a place you shouldn't hang around. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, and you scream my name, say it loud. When you in the sandbox or the jungle gym, everything you fucking said was a gym, wasn't smart at all, and you need to come again. Gotta look down because pilot man above the rim. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, on a sliding board going down. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, you just wanna swing around. You got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, a place you shouldn't hang around. Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground, and you scream my name, say it loud.
Make try.
Okay, now you got an idol's mind. You was at the devil's playground.
Yerp. We got another one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Venus and Pisces 2024 transit talk. All right. Shout out to Elisha Eternal, who said he's very hype. I hope it's not just us. The lady who I spoke to early on the phone was super hype. You know, shout out to Sagittarius. So let's get a Pluto check. I don't want to be vague here, but would you say that the quality of pressure, stress, anxiety, excitement has been noticeably much more intense in good or bad ways? I don't necessarily want to be loaded with this question. It's just more out of curiosity. I've experienced a direct intensification of the energy I harness, and compared to other people, I don't even feel like it's that much. But It's definitely getting there in the way that I feel like it's still just barely beginning. This doesn't have to be the case with you. Maybe you might feel the opposite. I don't really feel that though. I personally feel like it's kind of subtle, but it's still like a next level. And it's good to know that too. Cool, calm, and connected. It's almost like just a more intense shift in the vibration that is very pronounced. And I don't want to say too much about it now. Thank you. I want to really just speak on it like it's my experience, like the momentum is building. We're only just barely getting started, especially when referencing Pluto, which is a 20-year transit. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going for broke this transit talk. I'm going to go fucking in. Do not excuse my language. This is long overdue. I wanted to show love to Venus Day Friday and really give you the scoop. So first of all, if you came through, you're blessed. All right. I've been 10 years in. So I've been very honored to be summoned and sponsored by mostly your spirit team. As this is a broadcast frequency, I am connecting with you through your physical modulators. If you of course understand you are having a physical experience as a spiritual being, then you know that the metaphysical higher self counterpart of you exists through you as a vehicle. The reason why I want to preface this with this is we're going to talk about Venus. This is not just the representation of your heart and what you love, but this is an exaltation dream ride that's going to have you sample and experience dreams you never thought possible. The reason why you have to experience this is it's going to alter the direction you take. Venus in Pisces is going to be like, hey, remember the seeds you planted like over 7 months ago? Here's a sample of this harvesting. We're going to now actually replant the seeds, but we want to know, what do you like? Do you like it like this? Do you like it like that? This is Venus in her exaltation. She's dreamy. It is what it is. But like, there's a very important reason why you have to experience your dreams. And I don't mean in a way where you have to believe it. There's nothing that you can do. You're going to experience this. And I'm going to talk about how with Saturn here, it is tied into your responsibility to maintain this perspective. And why you're going to believe it is because it's actively happening. I'm going to talk about the mathematics. We're going to go back in time. So you understand that this Venus transit in the last zodiac sign of Pisces is both conclusion and the full receiving of your harvest. But Saturn is here, Kronos, the Reaper. So it's like you have to commit. It's like it's one thing to plant the seeds, but when you harvest the crops, you have to commit to those crops, because now, are you going to sell that? Are you going to use it? This is everything that's coming through. But we're going to break down how there is a deeper intensification of this coming through because Saturn is testing you. Here's a basic example. It's like you meet the woman or man of your dreams. And the whole purpose of this, there's of course, this is a fantasy to you. This is a dream to you. The Piscean element of this uplifts you out of your logical, critical thinking. And there's no Virgo energy present. So, you know what I mean? So okay, that was vague. But relative to that, you in a situation like that may lose aspects of yourself that kept you grounded because you're giving in your dream. None of this is bad. It becomes bad when you're now looking at it as something that's not real, even though it's really happening. Let me kind of rephrase that. It's almost in a sense where like you can get so caught up that you get everything you want in the way you're getting everything you want, that you may forget that the purpose of you getting everything you want is to prepare you through this arc ride into the next world. It's like you somehow come into a magical vault. Yes, a magical vault of cookies and food. I know. And like you can get so caught up in this surplus of food, you eat all that food, not realizing, no, this was your harvest. This was your harvest so that you could use it for the next cycle. So certain people can eat all of that. Then the next cycle comes and you have to sow the seeds again. And now the food you are supposed to have, the glory and the luxury and the reward you're supposed to have while you're building the next one, you're re-upping, right? This is like if you get a huge profit from an underworld deal and then you spend all of the profit instead of reing up on your work. Okay, so that this is the exaltation dream ride. You are going to be taken to depths and levels beyond what you thought was possible, and you want to know you're being tested. Saturn is testing you through this to be like, let me not even say Saturn, God through, I'm not even going to say the planet Saturn, but you are being tested to be seen. Can you be trusted with this level of influence and success? Could you be trusted with your dreams coming true? Because, you know, so you may never think to consider, right, that you may want $1 billion right now, but your higher self may go out of its way to block you from having $1 billion or $1 million right now, because doing so might completely, you may not have developed the character and attributes to be able to handle that. Maybe you do have the character and attributes, but you're around literally all the wrong friends and you don't know they're the wrong friends yet. So it's like you never necessarily couldn't make this happen. You're just coming into alignment between what you are wanting to create versus when it's right for you, which now implies all sorts of things that are very controversial relative to you now basically being an avatar of a video game played by a higher expression of yourself. That would be crazy. You know, not to say that this is a simulation, but this is definitely going to be experienced in the sense where you're not only reing up quality of this. In fact, if we go back to last year, this is why this is very important. Last year, Saturn was still in Aquarius. Saturn had just barely entered Pisces. So when Venus was in Pisces, Saturn was in Aquarius. Okay. So this is going to kind of hit like last year. But basically, last year, you were just stepping into that door. I want you to comment Venus, if last year it was almost like you were beta testing that fantasy, or last year it was almost as if like it was there, but it wasn't tangible, it was up in the air. And now this year it's tangible, like it's becoming tangible. I'm not trying to sell you on like, oh, it's going to happen. I'm going to explain how over the next week, all of this is going to materialize for real. I'm going to really break down the math of why it is exactly now and not any other time. And I'm going to let you know, be careful, because the biggest threat during this transit is what you would have least expected, your dreams coming true. That's going to kind of be the biggest threat of this, to where you might lose sight and focus of what it is you manifested all of this for, if that makes sense. Okay. You are in the completion of the harvest. So any dark forces that pretty much aimed to hate on you for whatever reason, they can't take this harvest from you. So the best they can do is to delude your perception of it. If you let them, they can't even force you to do this. The best they can do is just kind of influence indirectly you, hoping you slip up, So, provided you don't do that, prepare for the Exaltation dream ride because it's going to be freaking dope. It's going to be super dope. There are several things that are occurring here. Like I told you last time, when Venus was last in Pisces, Saturn was in Aquarius. So this is the first year in over 200 years, 165 with Neptune, and in 30 years with Saturn. But because Pluto's in Aquarius, over 200 years, Venus has not created a contract with Saturn in Pisces while Neptune was in Pisces and Pluto was in Aquarius for like over 200 years. All right. And the reason why that is important is not only are we activating a contract that with Mercury, we already started, all right, with our brains. We already got our brains behind what we think and process we believe. And we're already in Aries making this a thing. It's 10 degrees, Jesus Christ. But now our hearts are going to materialize this. Our hearts are what are going to get behind this. We're going to start to polish these thoughts, okay, before Mars goes through and we act off of on them. All right. So Venus is simultaneously not only activating a new cycle, the cycle we activated last year was in Aquarius, which was all about programming the knowledge of it. Really, really cutting and burning bridges that don't necessarily honor what we know we're worth. Okay. And now the Venus Pisces cycle is going to have you experience that programming. We're going to step into this again next year, but that's going to be at a higher level. Stepping into this again next year at a higher level versus this year is like stepping into it this year and starting a brand new software application. And then over the years, you level up. And then next year, we're going to get ready to finish the last half of the game. Okay. Because, of course, you may not finish everything in one cycle. So by the time we step into the next cycle, you've already played the first part of the game. It's already there. So that's why this is novel, because this is a first. This is a first. And then if we want to go backwards even more, all of the things we are about to experience, ladies and gentlemen, really kicked off, you guessed it, 20 goddamn fucking 20. And if we want to be really petty with it, we can even go back to 6 months ago. Okay. December of 2029. That was the second of 2 Venus Capricorns. If we want to get transit specific here, we want, for those of you who really, really want to know about the science of these transits, 2019, 2020 was very important because everything that Saturn and Neptune are tying in, Mercury, Mars, and Venus with these cycles, first happened in Capricorn. If you want to go back, it happened in Aries. Like that's like the 70s. Right? No, that's like that's like 95 if we're going to do Saturn Aries. And then before then, the 70s, right? But because we're going to go season to season, everything that Pisces is as an experience is manifested from Aquarius. Okay. Pisces is the final perspective. It's the belief that is generated from knowledge. Aquarius is this supernatural frequency and vibration of knowledge and cosmic energy, right? And that is manifested by a cosmic force and power, Capricorn, represented by Saturn. That is the material universe that can now, of course, have the knowledge, manifest the consequence of these physics through these laws and the energy. So power generating energy, which produces an effect. We know this is real if we just put on a fan. The fan is the power that generates energy. The energy makes the fan spin. And what does the spinning fan do? It produces an effect, wind. That wind is magic. We don't call it magic. That was just technical fan magic. We don't call it that though. We separate it because it's an illusion, right? But, basic level fan magic, and it's producing an aerokinesis through technology. The mutable sign is going to be the wind, the effect. The energy is going to be the fixed sign. And then the power to generate the energy is represented by cardinal. So everything we are experiencing in this collective universal fashion kicked in 2019, where we introduced these cycles with the South Node, so sinister, so devious, cough, cough, hint, hint, and with Pluto. And we want to pay attention to Saturn here. All right. Neptune wasn't in Capricorn since the 90s. All right. Specifically coming into the late 80s. And then it left, I think, like 98. So for those of you who have Neptune and Uranus in Scorpio, born in the 60s, and then for those of you who have it in Capricorn, born in the 90s, this is why your psychic abilities are with the 60s generation fully mastering themselves, fully expressing themselves. Case in point is the mentalist who's here in Las Vegas. He was born with Scorpio on his sun and Neptune. Scorpio, sun and Neptune on his sun and Neptune in Scorpio. He has that alien construct, and he's out here fucking people's minds with mentalist tricks, but he's using real psychic powers, but he's able to make it look like it's just a show, but he's using supernatural abilities. That's their generation. They're fully mastering this. And then for those of you in the 90s, you're finally opening the door into this. Now, if you're a weirdo born in the 2000s, I have nothing to say to you. You guys know too much. You're fucking weird. And if you're born in the 80s, I'm not trying to hate on you, but you see it. You see it. You're getting ready to integrate some shit that you were lied to your whole life about what you were seeing, and they experimented on you. And I'm being vague on purpose because who didn't they experiment on? But like, I'm not going to speak on y'all. All you 70s and 80s people with Neptune and Sagittarius. I don't know what to say to y'all, because it's probably going to feel like you were navigating through a rabbit hole and now you're getting ready to fall deeper into a rabbit hole. And then if you have Neptune in Aquarius, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm sorry. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. I have nothing to tell you. Your intuition is on a higher level than I am. If you're Neptune in Pisces, I have respect for you. That's some strange shit. Imagine being born after 2012 and your Neptune is in Pisces. I don't even know how to put that into words. Okay. If you have Neptune in Aquarius, I don't know what to tell you. Like, how do you know? All I have to tell you, Neptune Aquarius, is why the fuck do you know so much? Look at me. Why do you know so much? You weren't even in the room. You had no context clues. Why the fuck? Who is your plug? Who is your alien connect? Why? Why do you know what you know? You're a freak. Forget what society tells you. You're a freak. You're an alien freak. You're not normal. You're not normal. You hear me? You're not normal. And I mean, you 80s, 70s, Neptune, Sagittarius, you're not normal either. Y'all be seeing shit with blindfolds on. That's it's a little weird. You ever met a Neptune Sagittarius like dreaming with Tess, and then they'll just have a dream about what just actually happened? Like the audacity. Like what? Like I couldn't even like what that's not a little weird. That's not a little weird that before anyone saw what was happening, you already seen it before it went. That's not a little weird to you. So I have nothing to say to y'all. At least Neptune Scorpio. Actually, y'all are juju, to be honest. My Neptune Scorpio mother trolls me. My Neptune Scorpio Gemini mom will have dreams of shit I did, and instead of just calling me out, she'll just ask me like, so I had a dream you were smoking. You didn't know anything about that? And I'm like, now I have to lie to my mom. No, I don't. What do you mean? She'll just have a dream with just like specific shit in that dream. And I'm just like, Neptune Scorpio, stop snitching on me. But then, she's gonna be like, so, I just had a dream about that. And I have to pretend like, no, what are you talking about? You're bugging. That's a crazy dream. That's crazy. That's wild. Wow. What are you talking about? So like, but see, thank God we got Neptune in Capricorn. People born in 97, 96, got it 29 degrees. If you're born with Neptune 29 degrees, nobody can tell you shit. If you're born 98 and 97 and you have Neptune 28 degrees Capricorn, don't ever take shit from anyone in your entire life. Because like you can literally just like, use your own imagination to just like split their neck. And you need to walk around like, bitch, I am so psychic, it don't even make sense. Like, I will fuck your world up. Like, y'all are the only ones who could do that, and I wish I could do that. But you know, it's cool. We have Neptune in Capricorn. That's anything in Capricorn we could say is the greatest position. But like, you know, and anything in Sag you could say is the best. And every sign has what they can say. But like, or you're gonna say what you're gonna say. But like, yeah, Neptune in Capricorn. You're opening the door. I just wanted to preface that. I had to do that because I was referencing Saturn and Neptune is in the equation too. So yeah. That being said, this Saturn transit is so very important because things collectively were activated. There are things that at a world level everyone had to do. You get what I mean? Okay. That now that all this is in Pisces, we are seeing the effect from. That was the whole purpose of the fan analogy. Now that all this is in Pisces, see how we started the Venus cycle in Capricorn, then it went through Aquarius in 2021. Look at where it is now. It's in Pisces. So basically now the fan effect, that's what we're experiencing now. Everything that we are about to experience, because the activation of this is starting now. Everything that we're about to experience is the result of what started 2019 and 2020. Every 7 years with Saturn, we have these arcs. So this was the apocalypse arc. Okay, that's crazy. The apocalypse arc literally started with the pre-apocalypse cycle and then the end of the world cycle at the latter half, which is even crazy for me to say. But yeah, things should be starting to feel good because this also represents the reinitiation of the evolution cycle of consciousness, not just humanity, but also the corruption and awakening of humanity arc represented by Pluto and Aquarius. Yes, it is exactly. It's even weirder than it sounds. It is stranger than fiction. Okay, everything that I am getting ready to tell you, which is just really weird for me to say, and feels even weirder to say, but I'm very honored to say all day. Okay, so Exaltation Dream Ride. Choo choo. Here's the thing. First of all, Mercury has already processed everything you're going through. Okay. So you already have your mind wrapped around what it is you believe. Venus is just going to now make it pop. All right. It's like Mercury decided, I'm going to wear that going out, and it already left the house. And then Venus is coming through like, oh my goodness, your wardrobe is sorry. Let me actually upgrade your wardrobe because you can leave the house looking even better. Okay. Venus is going to really do her thing. And now that everything is polished, Mars is going to go through. Sometimes we have a different sequence. Sometimes Mars pops it off first, then we wrap our brain around. In this case, this here, Mars is going to come through and then going to take action now that everything is mind wrapped and now you put your heart behind it. Okay. So now that we're stepping into this Pisces, this is bringing in once again like so many years worth of development into the final completion. And as you know, Venus is in its exaltation in Pisces, where the heart is allowed to dream to beyond delusional capacity, to the point where you fall in love with people who take your kindness for weakness and just you just basically enable toxic behavior because maybe the sex is good and they appeal to your fantasies. Thankfully, Saturn is here. So we're not with the bullshit. But the most important thing about this Venus transit is that it will be sextiling Taurus. Okay, this Taurus sextile is what's going to give you now. If we know that Pisces is the experience, that experience is going to be you quite literally manifesting the completion of the harvest of unconventional mechanics of instant manifestation, of you being able to materialize everything that you quite literally wish and fantasize. And remember, Gemini season was you programming your spiritual intelligence, your spiritual AI. So this is you coming into the end result. Some of you may realize you have outgrown limited mental patterns you initially programmed, and it's going to reflect in you experiencing what it is you wished for. And maybe it's you don't really like it like that, or you do. This is where you will be able to adjust and change. This is the mutability of a Pisces zodiac sign, so that you can step into that direction, Aries, now that we've changed our beliefs. Or you may find that it actually aligns perfectly and you got exactly what you wanted. You get to enjoy the harvest. Similar to, of course, since this is the point in the harvest where you actually pretty much take the profit, the rewards from career, the 11th house signature, it's literally like you harvesting the crops and being like, okay, I did a good job. I sowed good, or this could be better. That's what this is for. Once it goes into Aries, you're now making obsolete what you did before, and then we're going to plant new seeds. Now, here's also the cool thing. Mars and Venus are initially planting new seeds here because they initially did it with Pluto, all right? But this arc is bringing through Saturn and Neptune, and then the eclipse, the nodes in Aries, and then Taurus, okay? That's the program for this year. All right? It's fucking crazy. But yeah, it looks like, yeah, we're gonna have this in Taurus. Mercury and Mars might hit Jupiter and Gemini, guys. So that's crazy. So this is the round of seed sowing. All right. We're sowing these seeds. We're sowing these seeds. The last time we sowed the seeds with Taurus last year in 2023, the North Node of Destiny was in Taurus. So everything that we are completing the harvest of right now over the next couple of weeks was the harvest connected with destiny. It's everything you were quite literally destined to manifest. There's an alignment here that connects the magic of what's beyond your physical senses with your physical ability through your physiology to experience just that. And this is going to break you through any illusions. This is going to reinstill the seed you are actually sowing is this activation of new beliefs. Discount code is active, Isaiah. Thank you for mentioning that. I do want to let you all know. Wait a minute. Oh, I do have the Venus in Pisces snapshot transit report available. Okay. For those of you who use the discount code Venus, you will be able to get 50% off. If it didn't work recently, it works right now. For those that have 15 spots available, and 10 of those 15 spots will be 50% off with the code. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to really establish that we see Mars on the North Node, and then listen, guys, Neptune is going to be 29 degrees. So I want you to see this Pisces transit as like a shore, like an ocean washing through. Once we step through this Pisces season and ground in Taurus, Neptune is at peak. This is going to be peak psychic magic through your imagination. I know psychic magic, right? Peak psychic magic through your imagination that has not been here in over 165 years. So you want to see everything that's happening now as the conclusion of the previous tide, as we're getting ready to pull in another tide. And why? 2024 is the transition year between worlds. Once we step into 2025, Neptune and Saturn break the mold into Aries, new world order. Okay, so 2024, literally, while we have the mutable Jupiter going through a Gemini being transited through Jupiter, all right, this is get ready to transition these game changers we have just activated. The game changer at the core of you believing in your supernatural potential and abilities. That's really the whole purpose of Pluto in Aquarius. A lot of it is just transcendence. If you think the Protestant movement, breaking free from Roman Catholicism, and then of course, you know, the American and French Revolution, these represented an obsolescence of how people used to see themselves and to step into a whole new cycle of fuckery. All right, in the name of whatever the fuck people name it. It changes every freaking generation. So with that being said, okay, this is very remarkable. We have started this transit off. Venus is coming up into 5 degrees. And what we want to see is that Venus is going to transit the entire first decan before it signs its contract with Saturn. All right. First of all, no, Isaiah Hawk, it did not reach the limit. Try it again. Try it again. It should be used. You should be able to use it right now. Thank you for mentioning that. When you had asked before, I didn't activate it. It was actually expired. So I finally just activated it. Okay. But other than that, yeah. Oh, no way. Yeah. Other than that, I definitely want to say perhaps, I definitely want to say perhaps that you, during this first decan, the first decan of Venus is Neptune. So this is your heart getting its feet wet, returning into its love of everything it believes. It wants to fantasize. This is, you need to get as fish tarded as possible. And this thankfully is still happening during Pisces season. Okay, while the sun is on coming on Neptune. So this particular point, as we are activating these new beliefs, which is a cool thing, Venus in Pisces is sponsoring the new moon in Pisces cycle. So we activated this new Pisces magic, and now Venus is coming in to polish everything as we're activating these new perspectives. Get as fish tarded as possible. Venus going through the decan of Neptune while the sun is on Neptune is a really good way of inundating yourself. It's like spiritually dosing yourself with LSD or just doing laughing gas. Once the moon begins to be in analytical Virgo and we come into Aries, this will naturally shake off. You'll be focused and you'll be sharp. Okay. So until then, be as delulu as possible. And when I say delulu, fully immerse yourself in your imagination. The reason why it's going to shake off is because once the moon goes into analytical Virgo, you're naturally going to start analyzing how this state you are in is reflecting in your reality. And then the sun's going to go into Aries and you're going to really step into the characterization of that and take that action. And then boom, you're still going to be coming out of that dream energy, but just at least for the next few days, Venus, and I'll show you really right now. Today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. I just wanted to say next tomorrow. And then we have 4 days, and then we have 5 days. And look at this. Look at this. I love how it's right when Venus is done out the decan. Boom, we're getting ready to sign the contract. This is 0 degrees. This is where it's like, okay, we're going to sign the contract tomorrow. Get ready, get sober. Boom. Moon is in Virgo, coming out of Leo. Sun is starting its Aries transit. Venus, boom. And Mars is getting ready to come out of Aquarius. Gangster shit. So basically, all this week, from now until next Friday, ladies and gentlemen, from now until next Friday, this is very, very important. Now, that is all just my opinion. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. This is just my very unconventional, reckless, and possibly very bad advice that I think you should follow. Like, you don't have to. Some of you have very pressing responsibilities, and you might think, can I really just shirk them off in just a quick 7 days in the pursuit of being completely delulu? You can and you should. You can and you should. Now, if you don't, because you're being maybe responsible or you're caring about other people more than you care about yourself, I can't stop you. I can't stop you. I will say you will never, ever, ever, ever get this chance again. You will never, ever get this chance to shirk off your responsibilities and to be as delulu as possible. It's worth taking the week off. It's worth taking the week off. Okay. I'm not saying that you can't do it after. I'm just saying that specific 7 days from now to the next 7 days, what would you do if you were fully immersed in the realization of everything you've ever wished for? As if you already had it, because you do. Okay, if you could take a vacation, right? Who says you can't be at Delulu and work at the same time? Exactly. So that's just my advice. Whatever you want to do over the next 7 days, I'm just letting you know that's the you know what I mean? Like that's your, you know what I mean? Once we're in analytical Virgo and we're presenting receipts, 6 months ago we were in Virgo. You know where you were 6 months ago. That was the kickoff to the I Told You So tour. Okay, I Told You So tour 2023 was October of 2023. November was I Told You So part 2, and then December was I Told You So part 3. You know why? Because in September we were presenting receipts. We can't be delulu when we're presenting receipts. We were presenting very important receipts. This is the opposite of Pisces, where now that dream became real. Hey, remember you said I was wrong for believing that? Receipts. And I told you so. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, yes, this is not that time. Don't let the perception of what society expects you to be stop you from completely fully immersing yourself in your imagination. And for you masters that can integrate that with what you're really doing, do so. But let the delulu be prioritized. Prioritize the delulu. Because once Aries season comes, it's over. It's wartime. Like where we don't have, this is a review period, right? Where you have to adjust before you move forward. So at the very least, when I say be delulu, if you have everything in your favor to believe that it's going to come through, why would you believe anything else? If at the very least maintaining a positive attitude about what you're going through might be seen as delusional, you might as well still just do that. This is going to highly influence at a deep, nuanced, psychological, unconscious, and subconscious level deep within you, the impressing of your subconscious to inspire action that you won't have to think about because you spent the previous week just imagineering. Your imagination is a vehicle through the supernatural. Government structures, religious organizations, and all their sorts of frauds have done everything in their power to nerf your own potential through imagination. They stuffed it in the realm of fantasy and science fiction, ridiculed and told you that it's nothing more than just your brain and mind farting, when it is literally what Neville Goddard calls God. It is the vehicle through which you can connect with the higher metaphysical aspect of yourself, through which your lower mind, your brain, everything you are conscious of are its eyes and ears. It is the separation. It is the illusion of separation. Okay. You were told by beings who probably aren't even as heightened spiritually as you, who probably might literally just be NPCs or beings that are cut off from their higher self or willingly knowing what they're doing, that this lower mind is who you truly are. This is just your avatar. Your physical senses represent the lower realm of what we experience in 3D. It's like the childlike counterpart to your God self, which would be, to your perspective, like it's like a father or mother, like the higher version of you. So your eyes, your ears, everything your brain is processing, you are its eyes and ears, which is you. It's within you. I'm just pointing up, just for analogy. But like, you know, what if you're, since birth, where you reset your memory, you are lied to about this other part of yourself. You're told, oh, it's this God, it's this goddess. You have to sacrifice this. It's not real. That's pseudoscience. The only thing that's real is everything that you perceive. So now you're playing a video game and you really think that you're in this video game. You really think that like everything you're experiencing is in this video game, even though you can pause the game, you can step away from the game. You can literally imagine, you can literally dream, you can tap in to facets of yourself, but the system you're in inverts your understanding. All right. They fuck the coding in the game up so that they are literally impressing and having you habitually not align with the being who you're getting this information for. And that's what an awakening is. So when people awaken, they start to awaken and connect to who they truly are outside of the system that's meant to trap your soul. Okay. And so if we can convince you through our clinically peer-reviewed, research studied, whatever the fuck, which is grounded in reality, but the facts and meaning around it are twisted enough. So yeah, they're giving you facts, but what it means is theoretical. Okay. Then we can reinforce you not connecting with yourself by calling you crazy, by dulling you with substances. Okay. All right. Okay. By literally poisoning your food supply and making sure that you depend on us as a resource and system. Okay. It really depends how you want to look at it, right? But thankfully, no one can make you do anything. That is why you awakening to just this pressure, like you literally have the greatest gold mine. And it's amazing how I can say this, right? But some of you may leave this live video and you might start worrying about anything. You might literally say, oh, I don't have enough money. But do you need a fake fiat currency when you have your imagination? You have been programmed since birth to believe that your imagination is just made up. Duh, you see how they lied and tricked you? Of course it's made up. You can literally make anything up from thin air. This was in someone's imagination and then they created it. So, you know, it's a form of it, but thankfully, what a Venus and Pisces will help you experience is the full potentiality of your capacity to imagine and how you're getting ready to pivot and move forward, even if at a most basic level you update your beliefs about yourself. But Pluto's in Aquarius, so this is awakening the supernatural quality of these beliefs. And it's bringing to your awareness facets of your beliefs that you may not have been conscious of, or you may have expressed as self-sabotage and doubts reinforced from society around you, and malicious psychic attack intimidated by your conscious growth, because how dare you elevate yourself beyond what we feel we're comfortable about ourselves. We're insecure, so we need to feel better than other people like you. And this is really what your vibration has been going through. And this channel is very obnoxious. This channeling spirit, I'm trying to get to the message, but this channel won't stop. That's what I'm feeling very powerfully with a lot of you, where your vibration has expanded beyond your brain's ability to process. So like your brain can only process so much physically. Your vibration, you're still feeling your vibe, So now your vibe is expanding and transcending beyond places that are outside your physical experience, and your vibration is leveling up past beyond what other people can handle as well. And you may not be in a position to be aware of all that. So you may not even realize how miles away your vibration has smacked the bejeet. Like, I'm having a vision right now of a group of people maliciously talking shit about you, and you are in a place 28 miles away, just like thinking, and that's why I don't like when people talk shit, or you're just going off like, I wish these motherfuckers would talk shit. And you're not aware how your energy traveled 28 miles and bam! And now the person who was talking smack dropped their cup and something happened. Like, you may not be aware that their friend is psychic, and now they realized, oh shit, that was your spirit. And now they're throwing black magic and juju on you. And you might not even be aware that you smacked the shit out of someone 28 miles away because they were talking shit with your energy. Except some of you do know, and you are aware because you're kind of weird, and you're weird because you're super psychic. So it's just like, you somehow, that's weird. If you knew that, I'm sorry, that's weird as fuck. If someone 28 miles is talking shit and you just all of a sudden be like, bitch, stop talking shit about me, like, you're too psychic. You're too psychic. You're way too psychic. Yeah, y'all, I don't even know how to approach y'all. Y'all, that's different. And then y'all be right too. At least be delusional like the rest of us. Y'all actually be right. And it's just like, how the fuck did you know about this? Like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, imagination is the power of perception and influences everything we do, think, and create about. So there's a mechanic that I want to share, as far as what collectively is everyone harvesting relative to the work they put into their own brain, and establish this into their beliefs. And of course, at different varying levels, people are going to harvest this collective ability differently. Let's just say hypothetically. Well, it's the power of mentifery. Okay, let's say that this aspect is enabling you the power to mentally manipulate reality. All right, mind magic. And this kind of brings in imagination manifestation, right? Thought warping, the mind, mentifery relating to the mind. So this covering your emotions, your imagination, your desires, your beliefs. Okay. At simple levels, mentifery first appears as imagination manifestation, bending the laws of physics, giving themselves abnormal condition powered by their imagination, and manifesting any weapon, creature, tool, or equipment. All right. There's really no limit to this. So I want you to think that there was a cell phone update. Our cell phones are programmed through our minds, and everyone downloaded this new app called Mentifery. And now the way you play with this app individually is connecting to this universal magic that enables you to reflect your imagination waves. I have to make up words of this, but we haven't been taught a literature about this, so I have to just kind of wing it as I go. But like, yeah, let's just say that's the base. And so Mercury going through Pisces was you initializing this app. Okay, this is you activating in your brain. So you're already using this. Mercury in Aries is you literally identifying who you are through the process. Okay. But now Venus is polishing your use of the app. And then once Mars goes through, you're going to start using the app. You're going to start acting off that. And it's going to start that cycle. Okay. So with that being said, that's what makes this the Exaltation dream ride, because while Mercury was going through Pisces over the past couple of weeks, you started to experience the causality and alignment between your thoughts and your imagination. This started to step you into, now that you're directing in Aries, oh, my experience is aligned with what I'm desiring and thinking at a much more smooth quality. And now Venus is you now realizing, well, now that this mechanic is working, What does my heart want? And this is where you're going to be manifesting, like I said in the beginning, everything you've been dreaming of. It's important to know that a lot of this was once again established 2018, 2019, and then you sowed these seeds 2023 in March or May, and this is everything you're completing the harvest of while we are activating this new Saturn cycle. The Saturn cycle is what's going to anchor this into your consciousness. And so Saturn is starting the cycle once we begin the new year direction in Aries. Okay. And the level of confidence that this activates really, once again, is your energy evolving beyond your conscious awareness. And it will trigger projections of those with insecurities because your energy is stronger than they can manipulate and control. Normally, you might have been dealing with a collective frequency and a social frequency that can, through dark psychological means or duplicitous actions, manipulate or control the nature of your energy to keep it at a certain level. And now that it's been expanding beyond that level, as you've been transcending your confidence and understanding of self, as you've been stepping into your own power, this at a deep vibrational level. Like, this is the beautiful thing about this energy. It's uplifting past the masks and the old social themes that people used to hide behind. They're getting exposed. People are snitching on themselves, saying things that maybe they were able to get away with, but now people are a lot more conscientious and willing to say something. And they didn't even know they said something offensive. Stupid shit like that. Right. So basically, this is very powerfully having you define this transformation of the status quo before many of you are even aware that that's what you're doing, before many of you are even aware you're being watched in the way you are by some people who were wishing you failed. And now you inadvertently helped them without even realizing it because you're moving forward imagineering. Okay. So the first thing I want to really establish is now to the 22nd is literally now. Okay. Until next Friday. From now until next Thursday, Friday, as the sun goes over and activates Neptune and Venus goes through the first decan, really listen to your heart. Ask your heart, what does it believe you want, or it wants, or you want? What is it that you desire? As you're coming through here, what you desire is not going to be like last year, where you've upgraded your sense of who you are. We activated a new evolution cycle last year. So it's like certain things you wanted last year may be in a way where you felt you couldn't get it, versus this year where it's like, oh, well, I have options. How do you feel? This is everything. The reason why I want you to dream is because when Venus goes on Saturn, you're signing a contract. So you don't want to establish conditions and terms that you may find out later, oh no, I really wanted this. If you go full Delulu and fish tard and really, 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 really go at it, then by the time you get to Saturn, it can begin to ground. You're moving forward with Aries, and this will enable you a broad spectrum or just more imagination towards what you're getting ready to commit to. Especially if you allow yourself, like the whole thing with Neptune is surrender. We're doing this while the sun is coming over Neptune, right? So the decan of Neptune is surrender. This is why Neptune, Scorpio, and Pisces are flawless at killing the ego. Neptune surrenders one's pride. Okay. If you think about the pride and the ego and the machismo that blinds the stupidest people who care more about their image and how they're perceived than what truly matters. In the heat of the motion, very passionately, people lose and undo their characters. So the lesson of surrender, this is why Pisces and surrender, do you know what the world calls that? The world calls that you being a bitch. What? You just let that happen? You're not going to say anything? You're not going to do anything? Well, we're going to talk about how you're a bitch now. And that is a form of social pressure that pressures you to now give in to what other dumbass motherfucker people think because they're fucking stupid. And Neptune is you having the maturity to surrender and be like, I let go and let God. But what does this world say about that? Oh, you believe in God? You believe in something outside of yourself? You're delusional. You're not going to put this in your own hand. So I'm just letting you know, like, this is why this is the highest spiritual principle. It is Jesus Christ getting crucified on the cross saying, Father, forgive these dumbass stupid niggas. They have no fucking idea how fucking stupid they're being. Forgive them. These dumbasses do not know what they did. And no enmity in his heart. Full on sacrifice. It is Odin sacrificing himself to his higher self. The level of who somewhere is at spiritually is based on how well they can do this. Not a lot of not a lot of people can do this. A lot of people act like they're spiritual when it's not about playing the bigger person. It's not about being the martyr. When it comes to surrendering, their ability to be like, I don't need to, like the highest level of spiritual maturity in any situation, whether you're about to get shot at with a gun or you're going through depression, is the power to surrender and be like, I don't need to deal with this. I will let God handle it. I will literally just surrender. I'm not going to let myself get walked all over. I'm going to surrender. I don't need to respond like this. I stand in my own value. If that's how you want to behave, we'll see what happens. We will see. I don't have to do anything. I can literally gain a whole new perspective because I allowed myself to release control. This is everything your ego tells you not to do. This is how you can tell who is evil or not. The surrendering for a man to sing out to the goddess or to God and be like, I surrender to you, oh Lord. Thank you. Bless me. That irks the pride of a lot of the distorted masculine, men or women. I'm not gonna let anyone tell me what to do. I do what I want. Do what thou wilt shall be the way of the law. This is a Luciferian thelemic principle. I do what I want. I do what I want. I can make witchcraft. I do what I want. Cool. Do you. I will let go and I will let God. Period. There you go. It is what it is. And the capacity that somebody has to completely release their ego lets you know what level someone is, not just spiritually, like mentally, physically, emotionally. A lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people cannot do that. So you who can do that should not let anybody, if God says go, who is saying no? So you shouldn't let anybody who cannot do that talk to you or treat you any which way. And in being able to surrender and submit to your highest vision of yourself, who God made you to be, to everything that you have been revealed about your gifts and abilities, this subconsciously will allow you at a very deep level to surface from within you your true potential. That is all I wish that you do over the next 7 days. One thing that I want you to take advantage of is to watch these 3 videos. The Ultimate Guide to the Law of Assumption, No Action Needed. All right, these 2 videos, The Ultimate Guide to the Law of Assumption and No Action Needed. I challenge you to watch those videos over the next 7 days and apply those principles strictly and immerse yourself in that. And I will explain those principles for the next 7 days. This is a challenge. I challenge you to do that. And then by next Friday, you can release it. We're going to come into the full moon. You can release that and watch how everything that you committed to through that, boom, just begins to unfold. All right. The whole purpose of these principles is having the unadulterated audacity to believe that right now you have what you desire. The unadulterated audacity. This is your mission, should you choose to expect. The unadulterated audacity to believe that you are the creator of your experience. And if you want a chicken ham sandwich in your right hand right now, it is there. Whether you see, feel, hear it or not, you know it's making its way to you. Whether you are inspired to go get one right now, make one right now, or it comes through to you, you can literally choose how it is you have it. Okay. Having the unadulterated audacity to believe in your self-worth and know that if you want to work with a specific person, you have just decided, you know what? We're cool now. I'm working with this person. And you're not waiting for anything. You have commanded it. Okay. You have been taught to give your power away and pray to theoretical models of people's attempt to monopolize anything from knowledge to religion to truth itself. You are here to command the experience you're in. Command. You don't have to ask like you are asking somebody a favor. It is your birthright. It is your divine right. Decree and declare. I have the most beautiful boobies in my face right now. And they are, there's no doubt in my mind, and I am enjoying it. Okay. Declare whatever it is you want. All right. And it's not so much like it's centered around what you want. Your desires are guiding you, whatever it is about who you are, whatever it is about where you are. Okay. You have to have the unadulterated audacity to think as if you already have everything you desire, and not in a wishy-washy way where you're fantasizing over your crush, like, oh, I wish I could be with you. We're not asking you to fantasize. We're telling you to claim it. All right. I'm shoot. I'm about to go meet. I just met my crush 2 minutes ago. She was just walking through. I don't even have crushes. I got so many people crushes on me. Like, I'm talking and thinking as if I have it. That's it. If for some reason, this is creation. You've been taught that this is delusional to do, but this is you being nerfed. Nothing about this is delusional. You are actively creating your experience. This is a form of magic, imagineering. They've made the word magic taboo, but if you think and process information, you use magic. So there's nobody on this planet who doesn't use magic, but they have changed the semantics and they have changed the way that you think about everything because they're terrified of your potential. And if you realize that you can use your imagination to literally create any experience right now, all right, then what do we have to feed you false narratives for if we're going to scare you and tell you that you need to do this and that? All right. So here's the thing. Relative to the conditioning that may have drawn you away from your true potential, that is what usually accounts for the time lag, because there is no time difference. So personally, any wavering where and this is, you have to trust in the magic of new beginnings, believe that you have this magical ability, and you're reinforcing it through your behaviors. You don't want to waver. You don't want to be like, okay, the peace dealer said that I am challenged to believe in whatever I want to happen. Well, I believe that I'm going to receive $1,000 tonight. I received $1,000. I got $1,000. I got $1,000. Yep, I got $1,000. And by the end of the day, now you're like, man, where's that $1,000? I wish I had that $1,000. That you're not living by the challenge. You are telling yourself that what it is you see and experience is what you are really experiencing, which you may be told is delusional, but the fact of the matter is your brain cannot even process what is physically in front of you by the time you're in the next experience. You legitimately hallucinate your conscious reality. You are not aware of over 99+% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So the most delusional thing that you can do is look at your 3D experience and accept it as reality. Nobel Peace Prizes were won by proving that this 3D conscious reality is not both real and local. So it actually makes more sense for you to take your power back and live in the reality in your mind. Reinforce that, because that is what you're doing right now unconsciously. If you are not consciously doing it, you are still replaying habits that and beliefs that you're using this magic. You're never not using this magic. The reason you're in this place right now, for good or worse, is because you have been reinforcing patterns that have been impressing in your subconscious, and you are maintaining this dream. Okay. So your challenge, once again, you can watch those videos to really, introduce you to these principles, is, all right, over the next week, use the supernatural ability of your imagination and believe in some of the most impossible things that you may believe possible. Okay. Here are 3 things that I'm going to fully immerse myself in. One thing I'm not going to do is I don't need to know how. Okay. I showed you guys receipts of this earlier. Remember, one day we did the affirmation. We just said, money flows to me naturally and easily. Okay. The very next day, I got an email from TuneCore saying that I have $300 or $400 owed to me. I can show you that email right now. And then I also had another time I did it, a 401k whatever contribution that I had to come through. I didn't know how that money was going to come. I didn't have to know how. Do we need to write them down? Did I need to write that down when I said it? I didn't write that down when I said money flows to me naturally and easily. However, for those of you who want to write them down, write them down. So do you need to know? If you want to, then do it. Sometimes I've written stuff down and it's manifested, but basically how it is you do it is all up to you. This is your craft, but the intention is everything. Okay. I didn't know, once again, how I was going to experience all the stuff that I did. I just did. I decided I do. You have facets of your spirit and consciousness that, you know, shout out to Echoist, that you can't even see. And you are actively being lied to about what it is, saying that it's nothing. This is just a material universe, whatever. So that's it. All I am asking you to do is to apply these concepts and themes towards the full unadulterated belief in yourself. If you want to change aspects of your, so the 3 things I'm going to believe that if you believe with me is going to strengthen the belief magic wish power. I made that word up, but I really do believe that if we are believing something similar and we have the intention that we're believing it together, I think that makes it stronger. I believe I can fly. Okay. I believe we are infinity heirs. We are fully independently, financially dependent and sovereign. And I believe that we are all connected. We're all meeting together physically. We have our own like embassy and nation. Okay. Primarily, believing you can fly is ideal, because being able to fly is something that is fantasy enough for you to accept as possible, but still resist doubt. Okay. Fight the urge to feel like you have to know how. You're the creator. You can decide how. All you have to do is believe you can fly. And anything else. The reason why I want to put flying there once again is it's just beyond reach for you to at least know you're actively practicing your imagination muscles. Teleport. This is all the supernatural abilities or powers you feel you have. Really believe you have it. How would you act? How would you walk? How would you smell? How would you hear if you truly believed you can do all of this? Okay. And don't worry about how. Don't try and force it. That's what the second video is. No action needed. There's nothing you have to do. What you're doing over the next week is surrendering, and you're exercising your imagination muscle. That's it. You are exercising your imagination muscle. Your challenge is to exercise the bejesus out of your imagination muscle. It'll literally be the greatest thing you've ever done. So that once Mars, the god of war, the action and aggression, once that goes into Pisces and you start practicing the imaginal act, well, you've already practiced your imagination muscle. So Mars will already know how to begin to act off of it. Versus if you didn't practice and put in those reps, you're going to have a very weak imagination muscle. All right. Your capacity to surrender intuitively will be weak as fuck. And you're just going to be worried and anxiety everywhere you go. Versus you already know, like the true power of surrender is being surrounded by a bunch of guns and they're telling you to, forsake your soul, and you've completely surrendered. You're like, I've let go. If you're going to shoot that gun, shoot that gun. You're completely like, people think surrendering is like, oh my God, here, take my shirt. Oh my God, I'm such a bitch. No, surrendering is, we want you to sell your soul or I'll shoot you in the face. And you fully surrendered. You've let go. You've let God. It's like, oh, well, you're going to have to shoot me. I surrender. That's it. I'm not going to do anything. Just if you're going to shoot me, you're going to shoot me. And then the gun clicks because it wasn't your time. Or it was your time, but you stood on business. You didn't sell your soul. You know what I mean? So it could take whatever form you take it, but like that's the true power of surrender. Only when it is you surrender, you unlock these abilities. Okay. So fully surrender to your capability. Venus is going to guide you. Venus is going to guide you. Your heart is literally going to guide you. And this is where if you surrender to what it is your heart believes it wants, this is going to start to open up new dimensions of what it is it's possible for you to come into. So the first part of this transit is you getting those feet wet. Once the moon starts to go into Virgo and Venus starts its contract with Saturn, there is an instant materialization of the integrity of these beliefs in connection with your heart. And this is what's going to kick in the next part of this Mentifery program and contract. This is officially enacting the 0-degree conjunction cycle that your heart is sowing the seeds on everything that your brain a couple weeks ago when Mercury was here activated. Okay. And once the moon goes into Virgo, boom, we're already beginning to fully integrate this experience. You're already feeling how it's real. All right. Because we have this backing of Saturn, this is, I don't want to say like a cash advance, but this is what really powerfully brings the materialization of the completion of this harvest. This is what directs, controls, manipulates at will. A lot of you feeling not that it's in the air, something real is forming. And this coinciding with this sextile is the official completion. So once Venus is 15 degrees to 20 degrees, where's the moon? Virgo. This is where we start to come into the exaltation dream ride. Okay, so you're no longer in the line, you're in the ride. Once the Venus is on Saturn, you're strapped in. I'm strapped in. Madness, look at clap at any moment. I'm sorry. You strap in, you're belted in, and then you go on the ride. Saturn has to anchor you in, though, because this is an exaltation dream ride, and your brain is going to be completely not diluted, but like you're just uninhibited. So you have to be strapped down. It's like a virtual reality console, and you're having like the best. So you have to make sure you're strapped in. All right. So with that being said, by the time we get to Jupiter and it expands the experience, this is exactly the three. I want you to look at this: 15 Venus and 15 Jupiter. is exactly 300 degrees. Okay. 300 degrees from what? Well, let's go back in time. Boom. 6 months ago. Remember, we had Venus retrograding in Leo. There you have it, folks. February of 2023, Venus initiated its 0-degree conjunction with Jupiter. Okay. 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 So just making sure this was the 0-degree conjunction that Mercury, Mars, and Venus did its rounds in. This was the initial expansion of this is who I am. Okay. Now that it's gone into Taurus, ever since this point of 0-degree seed sowing, this is the completion of that harvest, the rewards of career. And that's why this is very important, because once we enact this 300-degree cycle, this for the first time since we've actually done this is you finally coming into the rewards of those seeds you sowed. And this is at the first level of this first chapter. May of 2024, in like 2 months from now, we're officially activating chapter 2. April of 2023 was when we activated chapter 1 of this new 12-chapter book. So if May is the beginning of chapter 2, then at the tail end of chapter 1, Venus, we're coming into those Venus rewards. All right. The beginning of chapter 2 is where Venus is going to sow those seeds. Cool. All the planets will do it. And then Mercury and then Mars in Gemini, though. All right. So keep that in mind, because this is where you come into the full final experience. Gemini was the first experience. It was where we were activating the initial experience of what the fuck it is. Virgo was the second experience. It was our integration of how we're going to make this real. And then Sagittarius was the third experience where we interpreted the meaning of what it even means. And now Pisces is the final experience where we're coming into the full belief. Our beliefs are being crafted by what we are experiencing and how we're adding sauce to it. Okay, so Venus coming into now the 20-degree is the Aquarius signature for Uranus. This is where, coming into, of course, Aries season, we're getting ready to activate this eclipse through the full moon. And this is pushing us towards such a passionate definition of our character that as Venus comes into the sextile of Uranus, this expansion, as soon as we hit next week and Venus starts to sextile Jupiter, everything that you are believing and experiencing is going to enhance the experience of. There's a natural quality of how much enhance you can make tangible what it is you've been dreaming. And then Uranus is going to add to the unconventionality that will awaken the supernatural quality of this. That's why you need to be strapped in, because it's like being in a virtual console and it's like, oh my God, this is so real. Like I can taste it in my mouth. Like, wow. Pause. I was gonna say the titties in my mouth, but like, that just didn't come out right at all. I can taste the titties in my mouth. Still, but yeah, okay. Either way, it's real. It's real. It's real. And this is for you to walk away from this with the perspective so that you can step into everything accordingly. Okay. And this is even crazier because while we are completing this, Venus in its exaltation is going to meet Neptune in its dignity. Okay. That is one of the coolest parts of the transit. Mars will be getting ready to start its contract. And this is where now, as we're completing the Aries transit and getting ready to spark new power with the eclipse, the warfare eclipse. This is going to be that final dream. Okay. This might be the final dream we dream, because 2025, next year, look at that. Venus, Neptune will be in Aries. So Venus might conjunct it in Aries, but this is it. This is the last peak Venusian quality and contract. We've been doing this since 2012. So every year, Venus and Neptune, because Venus takes a year to circle the zodiac, it's been activating at a heightened intuitive quality our capacity to imagine. It's like, oh, I like this, and then Venus gets it. Cool. Oh, I like this, and then Venus gets it. And it's like 2012. What does that look like? Here's a horrible analogy. 2012, when it started, it's like you started to activate, oh my God, I like cookies. And then that year, you ate macadamia nut cookies for the first time. Versus now in 2024, it's like, well, now you know all the different types of cookies. You're eating Godiva chocolate cookies now of the finest quality, and this is like the final exclusive cookie that you didn't even know was possible to eat. You know what I mean? Like the nuance of how much better you can imagine, of how much more rich the taste of the cookies are versus just being in the cookies at first is so much, blah, 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 blah jargon. Okay. So with that being said, yeah, that's how we're going to end the transit. And then Mars is going to follow suit. And that's what's going to lead into the reset of the planets to the zodiac. And 2024, y'all, now we're on Noah's Ark. Last year, you were not in Noah's Ark. You were just getting ready to build the Ark. That's so very important, guys. The difference between last year and this year is this time last year, God approached you and said, hey, it's time to build an ark. And you're like, what the fuck is an ark? And basically, because they didn't in that time know what rain was, right? Hypothetically. So like, now you were building an ark and people are telling you, bitch, you think it's going to rain? You're fucking delusional. Now they're drowning and you're on that ark. Now these motherfuckers is like, that's so fucked up, but who cares? Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's so crazy. Just 1 year has passed and now you on that ark and they drowning. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. Oh, the irony. All right. So yeah, next year when Saturn goes into Aries, you're going to be coming out. You're going to be leaving the ark. So last year you were building the ark. This year you're riding the ark. Next year you're getting ready to come into the new world off the ark. And then 2026 is where you're exploring that new land. Right. 2025 is just the deboarding. It's like, oh, let's send the plane. Okay, there's the 11. All right, let's take this out the boat. Okay, now we're on the new land. And then 2026, we start doing. But like, that's it. I gave you the breakdown. 2023, building the ark. 2024, on the ark. 2025, we get out the ark. So this is the year you walk on water. Okay. This is the year you walk on water. When is Saturn conjunct Chiron? This is going to be exceptional for those of you with Chiron and Aries as well. It looks like Saturn might conjunct Chiron in Taurus. So if you have Chiron in Taurus, we'll see. But Saturn is going to conjunct Chiron 2029 in Taurus, which is wild. 2029 is going to be after the Jupiter Pluto opposition and the nodes, which is a huge paradigm, obviously. And this is where we'll step into more of the social evolution. But Saturn is still manifesting individuals, getting ready to complete the 86 and 87 born Saturn, Uranus, and Sag in Gemini. So yeah, 2029, coming into the tail end of the decade is where we finally get to fully see the consequence of all the super pimp dope new technology rollout. And cryptocurrency, Bitcoin might probably be beyond 75,000 by then. I mean, that's convenient for me to say. I could be wrong. I mean, you never know. But like, yes, It's we're fully out of the arc by then. We're in the new world order. This is the next era. And yeah, really great question. So it's good to know that everything we're transitioning this year through is preparing us for that, you know? And yeah, so it's definitely a lot to look forward to. Whew. Guys, it's been real per usual. Jennifer, I see you've ordered the eclipse reading. Definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. And yeah, if any of you would like a live reading, I have my Cash App down below. I have the links below for any of you that might want some insight about Venus. But ooh, normally I wouldn't, but you know I can't say no. So I got you guys. Really all you need to know, for those of you, if you're not able to get a live reading, look at the links below in this video. If you have to watch one, watch the no action needed. Sammy Ingram is one of the GOATs. Okay. So that's it. All you have to do is to allow your imagination to be led through your heart and surrender. And you can do that by asking yourself, what the fuck do I want right now? And if you don't know, that's beautiful. Just put yourself in a state of satisfaction. All right. Immerse yourself. All I'm asking you to do is to give yourself your greatest desires. Literally go into your realm of imagination and be like, I want this, and give it to yourself. Instead of waiting for it, instead of allowing it to fall in your lap, give it to yourself. The code never worked for you. Isaiah Hawk, what code did you use? Let me just make sure you use the right code. Nice. Yeah, the if you're talking about the code Venus, that one should be active. Yeah. But the code Venus is only going to work for the Venus and Pisces transit. So make sure that's the one using. But I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, it should be working. So let me know what it tells you. If you're not able to, bro, you can send me a Cash App at the discounted rate, and I can just manually add you on the order list. Okay. For those of you who might be having that, transit talks are replayable. So whether you are part of the membership or not, you will be able to catch this replay. Okay. And yeah. It says it reached the limit. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna I think it could just be the way it's loaded. I'm just gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna do another one. Discount save limit. Okay, I've just refreshed it. Please try one more time. If you're doing the Venus and Pisces transit talk, let me see. I'm gonna actually do it right now on my website to see. Uh-oh, it's the FBI. Oh, this discount has reached its usage limit. That's crazy. Hmm. That's interesting. Thank you for your patience, guys. Okay, it should work now. It should work now. Try it now. Um, I took off the limit thing, so it shouldn't be there anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Because it did. That's why. Because 10 have been used. I see. So I would have to. Are you ready for the sixth dimension? Let me try it again. You ready for the sixth dimension? All right, cool. So we should be Gucci. All right, let's go. Isaiah, thank you very much. Much appreciated for bringing that to my attention. Yeah. Okay. When exactly is Mercury in retrograde? Let's see. Definitely during Aries season. Okay, it's gonna go station. It looks like March 31st, April 1st, April 2nd. So April 3rd. April 3rd. When Aries completes its harvest, Mercury's gonna retrograde right near the square with Pluto. So that might be a little harsh, but definitely a lot of fuckery will ensue. A lot of unnecessary chaos, the usual. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna do this pick a card reading. And yeah. By the way, there's nothing you have to do for this whole transit. Like this is all going to literally just happen. This is the results of your harvest. So this is you experiencing it. If you like it, you can sign the contract with it. If you don't like it, you'll know what you want to believe towards. And yeah, you reap what you sow. And I hope you are very grateful and enjoying of what you reap. Okay. So oh yeah, I said April 3rd, but that might be April 2nd. I used universal time, so that's probably going to be April 2nd, depending on where you're at. And all you have to do is surrender. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. So the pile that you pick is going to reveal what the results of your harvest are. What is your exaltation dream ride going to be like? Yes, Virgo goddess. It should feel like you are in a limbo state because you are in between worlds. You're literally on the Noah's Ark ride out of a drowning world into a new world. So the waiting is literally an illusion. You're progressing in ways you're not entirely conscious of. And what the limbo state of is akin to you breaking out of a cocoon and becoming a butterfly. It's you literally shedding the skin of your previous beliefs and you are moving forward. Once we step into Aries season, you're going to feel like you're moving on the train where before you were in a train station waiting for that train. So we're still coming out of it. And yeah, what's happening is coming from being beyond your awareness to being totally in your awareness. So we have pile 1, we have pile 2, we have pile 3. Okay, beautiful. So the underlying theme that we have is the high priestess. The high priestess is speaking on the sacred and intuitive spiritual revelation, the uncanny messages that are super specific and timed well to you. Your capacity, of course, your intuition would be your guide through this exaltation dream ride. There are certain subjective, personalized messages that you can draw objectivity from. In the experiences, there's book smart knowledge, but then there's the experiences that, while not in any way are linear to or attached to a logic, are still your personal experience. It is still your intuition. You will be stupid to share these experiences with people. I feel like in sharing these experiences with people, we like to gain this sense of belonging. You are snitching on yourself. You might inadvertently tell on somebody. You might tell this to someone who hates you and you don't even know they don't like you. And now you're giving them essence of your joy. That's just paranoid thinking. I'm not saying you shouldn't tell people, tell you want, but I wouldn't tell anybody personally. This is between you and your higher self. This is between you and God. This is between you and your intuition. Some of you are the high priestess. So this is going to be you fully unveiling greater conscious and unconscious development of your skills to literally glean insight out of nowhere, literally intuitively. But for everyone watching, you are going to come into a deeper, more intense, extreme dose of intuitive genius insight. Imagine if a ghost was dishing you tea. Yes, tea. Okay. Imagine if you are gaining relevant insight about situations from a metaphysical, non-corporeal being who is telling you stuff that aligns with what you're experiencing in your real world. And now people are like, how the fuck did you know that? And I mean, you're not going to tell them a ghost told you or your higher self. Imagine if you can consult this facet of yourself. It's like a superpower. It's literally like a magic ability, right? And it's, whether through dreams, whether through, your own intuitive power that's going to gain more sentience in and of itself. Let the priestess emerge. This is going to put you down a non-linear element of revelation that will not make sense if you're thinking about it too logically. But if you remember, you got it like that, then you will enjoy this revelation. So the pile you pick will be what your intuition is guiding you during this. And we have, of course, pile 1. So okay, so the first card is the dream, the second card is the gift you're unlocking, and the third card is the outcome, or what you're stepping in, how you're ending the harvest or whatever. Okay, or it could just be 3 messages, really. Oops. So we do have the strength card. This is just unadulterated, pure sexual energy. Not in a devil card freaky way, but in a I don't get tired. I have passion for my goals nonstop. So pile 1, this is going to really hit hard if many of you have wanted more time to invest in what you love, especially if you feel like you've had to focus more of your energy on responsibilities. There's a nuance with your passions that enable you to fully put your heart in what brings you excitement, being the excitement, mastering your passion. And now I also want to induce, if you pick pile one, you are deceptively strong. Like some of you might have a dainty appearance. I don't know why I use the word dainty. Some of you do not look as strong as you are, and it catches people off. Like certain people may expect you to need their help in picking up something heavy, but when they're not looking, you can bench press a truck with one of your arms. Like some of you have that level of super strength. Like they don't know you have like this uncanny, even if it's not physically, it's just passion. Like some of you don't lose energy legitimately. Like whereas everyone's already tired, you're still just like, really? That's it? I don't even need to eat, sleep. Cool. All right. So I don't want to open that up too. Now, what you're unlocking is just beauty, this abundance. All right. The Empress, the strength is the Zumba coach that inspires everyone else dancing. And the Empress is her showing up super fine. Like she the finest one in there. So this is going to be really good for unlocking abundance and money and rewards from your passions. The Empress is unconditional love, especially with strength. It's satisfying sexual energy and sex. But this is you unlocking your full beauty for the woman watching this. Your full goddess self, the mother goddess right here. That's the Empress, and it's really cool because similar to having a Midas touch, it's literally like attracting everything that you really desire. It literally just coming to you. And but as the Empress, like there's a dignity and poise here that commands the presence. All right. And we have the Hermit here. Y'all definitely mind your fucking business, and you're your own light and authority. So the if you picked pile one, this is very dope. This is very, very dope. You're literally your own queen. You're your own person. Whether you're a man or woman that picked this pile, there is a self generation of energy, will, and strength that enables you to unlock abundance and not have to rely on anybody or anything. That Hermit card is you specializing your own field, being in your own lane. And I mean, it's not like you have to conform. Certain people have to sacrifice to conform because they have to do. You don't have to. People are trying to get on what you're on. Okay. So that's really dope. That's really, really dope. This is especially beautiful if maybe there hasn't been as much faith, there hasn't been as much faith in what it is you're doing. I feel like some people, if you pick pile one, I'm picking up that some people have tried to play you like, oh, they're crazy. They're not necessarily like what they're doing isn't sustainable. What they're doing isn't sustainable. And now you're making a lot of people look really fucking stupid because the stuff they're doing that's sustainable, they weren't even able to keep doing. But the stuff that they said wasn't sustainable, you've kept it more consistent than stuff that is supposed to be here forever. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely a full circle moment, and you're coming back around to really, establish this. You're here to stay. You're not going anywhere. Pile two. Let's see what we got for you. Pile two. Oh, so the dream we have is the Magician. If you picked pile two, you are stepping into your full potential. Pile two, You have awakened and activated facets of your gifts through skills, abilities, techniques, and talents. Now you're able to put it all together and use it at will. Pile two, you can literally show up at an open mic and you can capture everyone's attention. You are being called to remember that everything that you need, all the tools at your disposal to create your vision, you have. It's all in here. You literally have it. You can make literally anything happen. But I like that this is your dream. This is you activating the magician that you are, creating, not coming up with the solutions, creating the inventive solutions as much as you can imagine to literally weave the non-material with the material. And I think this is going to be really fun. Like, you are a magic wand, and this is definitely putting you in a position. Light or dark, magic is magic. That's all I'm about to say. Magic is magic. The quality here with the magician is you being able to use any available resources and create whatever you want with it. But what I'm picking up for you, and this is beautiful, because what did pile one get? The other infinity card. Pile one got the strength card. So pile one and two might have a connection where pile one draws out the skills of pile two, and pile two is able to harness that infinite energy of pile one. Pile one is focused more on unlocking infinite energy, and pile two is coming into unlocking an infinite skill set. All right. So it's like, you, every kind of ability you've kind of stepped into, you're coming into the full expression and maturation of it. And yeah, for some of you, Pile 2, this is a specific technique you are getting ready to use at will and master. And what you're unlocking is temperance, alchemy. So if you pick Pile 2, this is the alchemy pile. Pile 1 is definitely more their own entity. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, Pile 1, I think, is more focused on unlocking the beauty of their characters. Pile 2, you are unlocking alchemy. You're using the abilities of the magician to now unlock a new balanced lifestyle that helps you bring complementary opposites together. Okay. So this is bringing so much more peace and balance into your lifestyle by actively using your new abilities. It's like upgrading how much more you can really accommodate. Um, and that's really beautiful. I like that this is what's being unlocked. For some of you, this is the ability to draw something out of nothing. Okay. Literally with your own magic. And now, if you're bringing something out of nothing, it changes the balance of your lifestyle, and how you, what you used to do, you no longer have to do, because you're supplementing it with this technique, ability, skill. Um, and that's freaking dope. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Skills are definitely the new currency. And the outcome we have with this is the death card. Okay. So this is going to, in light of um balancing this new quality, transform your whole life. All right. So if you pick pile 2, you're coming into a full-on transformation. Pile 1 is coming into a refinement. Pile 1 is coming into really unlocking the I would say pure elements of themselves. Pile 2, you're activating new magical abilities to literally balance and transform your whole life and self. So yeah, um, I feel like if you pick pile 2, get ready to become unrecognizable. Okay, and it's definitely going to, I think, change a whole lot. All right, pile 3. All right, pile 3. Your dream. We do have the star. So pile 3, you're famous. I don't know if you know you're famous. Some of you don't know you're famous. You're famous. You're about to be super famous. Some of you this is soulmate recognition with someone who's very influential and known. Even if they don't have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, even if it's in a small close-knit community, they are an inspiration. Okay, so I love how every pile got a heavy hitter. Pile 1 got the strength, pile 2 got the magician, pile 3, you are the superstars. Okay, you are the inspiration. You like pile 1 is activating their own personal magical abilities and skills. You are awakening spiritual gifts from God that you were given to inspire the world. I think Isaiah mentioned the world card. If we pull the world card in pile 3, you guys are the household names. So you are famous, pile 3. I'm just saying, this is your dreams coming true. That's what you're stepping into right now. All that is meant to happen to really facilitate this is coming into form. All right. You are being put in position because you realize it's not about you. You know how inspiring your gifts are, and you know, like, certain people have cried just listening to you sing or dance or share your gifts. It's important for you to spread this hope. You're coming into a rejuvenation. You're coming into new hope that's going to personally put you in a greater ability to expand. If we get the Wheel of Fortune, there's definitely expansion, and that's not even what you're unlocking. This is the dream that you're harvesting. Okay, so what are you unlocking? We have the Devil card. So this is what you're unlocking. The Devil card is the underworld. It's also addicting sex. The Devil card is like a sexy summer body. So if you picked pile 3, you're becoming a sex symbol. What you're going to unlock is not just, and I really like that. It's a stark contrast to pile 1 because the Empress is unlocking beauty. Pile 3, you're unlocking your sex appeal. I feel like some of you have never really tapped into that dark part of your sexual expression. So not only are you coming into this star power, but it's in a very taboo and sultry way. It doesn't mean you're doing porn, but there's an edgy, darker element. And that's going to look like materialistic success. That's going to look like you copying Rollies and driving Benzes and, you know, being flooded in a lot of money. And some of you may have kind of built beliefs to believe that this is bad. You know, only bad people do sorts of things. It's only bad when you allow this sense of materialistic success to warp your ego, and then you care more about that than the dream. Okay, where you know, so if you pick pile 3, this is like having your dream come true, and then people say that the money changed you, but you're supposed to unlock this. So just don't let the, you know, success get so much to your head that you get lost in it. Because we got this in the unlock position, though, you're not going to let it get to your head. This is going to really help you indulge in ways that with the star card you may not have been able to before. And we have the Chariot. Yeah, pile 3, y'all got it like that. Like, pile 1 is more personal, pile 2 is more technical, and pile 3 is the fucking winner. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, we even got the Chariot card. The Chariot card as an outcome is victory. You're gaining momentum. You're moving forward. So you're not just establishing this success, but you're maintaining momentum. Okay, which is really dope. Really, really, really dope. And yeah, shout out to Dreaming with Tess. Thank you for asking for this. I'm glad we did it. Yeah. Isaiah Hawk, thank you. I got your snapshot transit report. Looking forward to that. Ooh. And yeah, I'm going to end this transit talk. You guys are awesome. We uploaded the menu prompts for my paper call, but if you call in now, there's like static. So I emailed the back office. They're gonna get to work on that. But yeah, we hope to at least by the end of this week or the beginning of next week have that available. And then yeah, you guys can start calling me up at a minute at a time if you're down with that. It'll support the channel a lot and the team. You guys stay blessed as always. What we're gonna do is a quick ritual before we leave. Let's kick off this Exaltation dream ride. What is one thing that your heart believes wholeheartedly, especially through this pick a card reading we've just done? That I want you to set the intention to believe, and then I want you to set the intention that everyone else's wishes and beliefs come true. And then once we end this broadcast, get ready for the ride. All right. You stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.